And I welcome you today to CSC Talk Radio. It is my honor, my privilege, and my pleasure to be here with you today. You know, energy is important. It's important to life. And being a good steward is important to both life and energy and other things. Being wise steward is even more essential. We're going to cover energy today, so get energized. We have a lot of the scared and paranoid people listening to a lot of salespeople regarding our industry of energy. They don't like coal, they don't like oil, they don't like any fossil fuels, but the new Green Deal has the same old failing policies. Plus, you can't have one without the other, and it just doesn't work that way. Meaning you can't have some of what they want without having fossil fuel. I've challenged you, my listeners, in 2019 to be the storm. There isn't anything more powerful or energizing than a storm. The wind, the power, the lightning, the electricity, the rain, replenisher, essential for growth, they all serve a purpose. And we welcome our energy today. We welcome our energy specialist. We're going to call him our specialist, Daniel Turner. Daniel is a storm. He's been storming around this nation trying to bring common sense back into our industry of energy and expose the lies and protect the jobs of Americans. Welcome back, Daniel. How you been doing?
Beth Ann, it's always a pleasure to be back with you, and happy 2019 and happy 2007 show, I guess.
You're right. Look at you. It is 2007, and happy 2019 to you, too. I think it's going to be a big year. What do you think?
It is, and I'm glad you want to talk about the new Green Deal and all things energy, because there's going to be an awful lot of challenges. We still have a president who supports the energy industry, but we've got a Congress now, or at least one chamber, as Miss Ocasio-Cortez would call it, one of the branches of the three branches of Congress.
The tippy top.
You know, if your listeners were only willing to pay their fair share of 70% taxes, we could have a Green New Deal. And so shame on them for being so selfish.
Yeah. She's dangerous, but she does crack me up. But she is extremely dangerous, and the fact that people are listening to her is really disheartening. But I was watching her last night, and they were playing snippets of the interview that she had on the mainstream media there, and I'm thinking she talks like a little girl. Mm-hmm. She just talks like a little kid. It's like, seriously, who paid for that education? And, we're supposed to be the deplorables and the ones that just aren't quite sophisticated enough to understand these things. It's, geez. It was, the tippy top. Only the tippy top will have to pay all of that. 70%. It could go that high. It could go that high.
I saw someone point out on social media that just like Dr. Christine Blasey Ford, when she's interviewed, she puts on a very childlike voice, which is an affectation, and I think it does eschew criticism because she sounds like a little kid, and I don't think that is accidental. And
do you think
so
they do that because they're talking down to us as if we were children, or why do you think they do that?
Well, I think it's a defense mechanism so that you can't attack their principles or their positions, because they just sound like innocent little children, and who would attack the naivete of a child?
A mother would. A mother that would tell him, you know better than that.
Yeah.
I think you know better than that.
And she uses that voice when she wants to talk about serious issues. And again, congratulations to her for winning that primary. She defeated, no doubt, a very powerful incumbent. She knocked on a lot of doors. So congrats to her. She deserves credit for that win. But she also needs to remember that she got 15,800 or so votes in one district in New York City. She got 4% of the population to turn out for her. And that does not empower her to dictate to the rest of America what our policies look like. That's not what congressmen do. And so I just find it bizarre that this young freshman from New York thinks that because 15,000 people in Queens elected her, that she gets to tell people in West Virginia what their energy is going to look like.
Yeah, she's a little full of herself right now, and she's pretty proud, and I guess she has made some accomplishments. But it is scary because we see these pictures in Venezuela, and we know that they had the most, you know, they should be. They were the richest country, and maybe not the richest, but they were a very wealthy country, and now they're starving. You know, they're digging in the garbage. They're having to get, and you know, their dictator isn't even allowing food to be brought into them. I mean, this is it's getting serious, and that's what they're looking at. They're all these this new Green Deal, and I don't know all the details of it, but it's got a lot of socialist policies in it. You know, like national health care. That's in the new Green Deal. Well, what does that have to do with energy? And, you know, it just goes on and on. It's just another way to capture the people. And you throw free out there and, you know, you can get them almost to buy anything.
Absolutely. And we're working right now to put together a larger expose of the details of this Green New Deal. And make no mistake, there aren't a lot of details, and that's intentional because it's like what Nancy Pelosi said 8 years ago. We need to read the bill, or we need to pass the bill in order to learn what's in it, right? They don't like details because details you have to debate.
And you have to get them right. And you know,
you do.
Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez doesn't always get the details or the exact numbers correct, and she defended herself. Well, sometimes it's more important to do the right thing than to have the right details. I'm going, oh my gosh.
Exactly, and that's a very scary proposition to think that I don't need to have truth on my side as long as what I see myself doing is morally justifiable. That really is the end justifies the means. That's Machiavelli. That is truly Hitler-esque.
That is the left.
And they're the ones who always accuse us of being Hitler. But when she said, you know, I'm not worried about being factually correct. I'm worried about being morally right. If your morals are not based on facts and truths, then they're not morals. It's called dictatorship. And Anderson Cooper, like the good media lapdog he is, just kind of sat there and nodded and didn't say, whoa, whoa, whoa.
Well, he did say it's important to have the facts right. Not like he ever does, but he did say that. No. And she goes, oh, yes, absolutely. So it's scary. It really is scary that we have socialists like this that are leading the way and that anybody's listening to them. You know, where was Venezuela before? I mean, were they listening to the same kind of lies about free health care and no borders? I mean, Congress should be taking care of the borders instead of taking care of all this other stuff. And here's where she's showing herself to be a 29-year-old, and that's not a comment to make fun of younger people. It just means
she's comes with age. With age comes experience and vision and knowledge, and she is too young to remember probably the beginning of the Hugo Chavez regime in Venezuela. She is too young to remember the Berlin Wall and East Germany and the battles in the Olympics and et cetera, which I, at 44, am old enough to remember. And so it is crazy that somehow she says, well, we don't want to be Venezuela, we want to be Sweden. I guarantee you Hugo Chavez said the same thing to his people. We're going to be like Sweden, and look at what happened.
Well, we're headed into a break. I do want to talk more about the energy, and I want to give you a congrats on expanding there with Power of the Future. I want to talk about that just a little bit. I want to let you brag. And you're listening to CSC Talk Radio. If you've got any questions or comments for Daniel, you can give us a call at 877-895-5410. That's 877-895-5410. Visit the website, powerthefuture.com. It's just that simple, powerthefuture.com. And Daniel and Beth Ann, we're going to be right back.